Welcome back, fellow escapees. So, why do we do this to ourselves? The best years of our lives, we spend them in jobs that we absolutely dread getting up in the morning going to. Now, we have to leave our spouses and partners behind at home. We have to leave our children, our cute little pets. We have to leave them. We're gone almost 8 to 10 hours a day just so we can go to a job that we dread. So, we need to figure out a way to create a plan so that you don't have to go to a job that you dread going to. Now, of course, if you're in a job that you love, you still want a plan similar to this to create the habits that you need to have so that you can create financial independence just in case something happens to that job. Like recently, we have a lot of mass layoffs, so we don't know what's going to happen to the job market. So you just want a plan in place so if something happens, you're at least okay until the market shifts and turns back around in your favor. But for those of you who are in jobs right now and y'all are inboxing me or reaching out saying, how do I change my life? Like, how do I go from this job that I dread and hate going to having enough money where I don't have to work for anyone else, or I'll have enough money that when I'm ready to leave this job, I have the option to leave and go out on my own and probably find something I really enjoy doing. The thing is, what's happened with myself and the people that I mentor is that people love working. They want purpose. They want to be a part of something. But they don't want to go into jobs that they dread and hate. They want to work more in their passion or be more creative. But at the same time, the job that they're in is is paying them enough income where they cannot go and explore other opportunities. So there could be some great opportunities. Let's say you live in Florida and, you want to come to New York and you're just like, I can try my hand at, jewelry designing. I can try my hand at fashion. I could try my hand at musicals or whatever you love doing. And you can't even leave your job to go take that leap of faith because you don't have enough money saved up, or you're afraid to leave that stable job because you'd have nothing else to fall back on. Well, we're going to change all that today because I don't want you in jobs that you dread getting up in the morning going to for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years. So I'm going to help you create that plan right now. Let's get into it. All right, so the first thing first, this is what I want you to do. I want you to work on your network. So as you're going through life, I want you to make connections with people in the field that you're thinking of going into, and just slowly through social media or through meetup groups or other networking events that are happening around your city, I want you to just kind of get out there and just build up relationships. I used to run a really large networking group for professionals, and I'll say don't try to, take on too many business cards or try to meet more people than you're able to handle. What makes networking so successful is that you have to identify people that you would like to get to know and develop a relationship with. Go out for coffee, go out for dinner, and don't try to sell them anything. Just go out and try to build like a genuine relationship. You don't have to be their bestie or anything like that, but just go out and try to establish some kind of rapport and relationship and just keep up with them over the social media. Make sure you're calling people and checking in on them as well. I know when I ran my networking event, it was a big networking event, so I had a lot of people that would come through. And of course, I tried to get to know as many people as I can, but at the same time, it was over 200 people, 1 to 200 people per event. So it was really hard at times to get to know all these people. And of course, some of them didn't stay consistent. So I would see new people at every event, but I would also have my regulars who would come to the event. But one of the things I see is a lot of people try to use social media to talk to people, and that's okay, but you got to actually get on the phone and go out with people in person too. And that's some of the best ways to build relationships. If you're having an event yourself, invite them out to your event, and the relationship could continue to develop over time. The network is so important because even if you became self-employed or you were able to retire early, you still need people in the community for resources in other business ventures and opportunity. So like you might come across, let's just say you want to invest in the hotel business. Well, you may need contractors, you may need staff, you may need bank loans, SBA bank loans. So you want to still build relationships with people and say, hey, do you know anyone? Like I built a relationship with a politician in my city, and he knew a great person who had access to SBA loans. So, those kind of connections you want to have, because as you're going through this journey of planning your corporate escape and working for potentially working for yourself, or potential, why can I say potentially? Why can I say this word? But you get what I'm trying to say. As you're going through life, you may want to start a business, or you may just want to just get out of the workforce completely and just live off your passive income. Regardless, you need to have people in your network and in your circle, so that you can continue to develop yourself and have resources about just different things that you're going to need as you're in this journey, as you're on this journey. Because even if I didn't work for absolutely nobody and I was completely retired, I would still want, like, especially with inflation and the way the world is going, I would still want to stay in touch with people just in case something shut down. Let's just hypothetically say, our cities shut down just like during the pandemic, and then this is actually going, I could not find bleach to save my life. So a lot of family members have moved into my place because some of them lost their jobs, some of them lost their place. I remember the pandemic went on for like a few years, like a year plus the following year, where everybody was trying to get their shots, and as the city opened back up. So it almost went on for almost felt like 2 years, even though we were able to get out after that first year and still live our lives. But the scarcity and the uncertainty felt like it lasted almost 2 years. So this is what happened. I had family members move into my house, and I needed bleach like you wouldn't believe. Like I literally was about to give $100. So I knew the manager of a very popular restaurant. I'm not gonna say this person's name, because I think people will figure out who this person is if I say their name, and I don't want to get them in trouble for giving me the bleach. So this person was, once our city opened back up, they were able to have the drive-through open, so they were able to open an establishment. You just couldn't come inside the restaurant, but you can go through the drive-through to get your food. So when a restaurant opened back up, I was like, girl, I will give you $50 to $100 if you can give me some bleach. I was willing to pay that much for bleach because I wanted to disinfect the house so bad, because it was everybody using the bathrooms, everybody using the toilet, the showers and stuff, and I want to bleach it down. I think I had some cleaning products, but I still think you can use all those other, like Ajax and all that dishwashing soap. I feel like you can use that stuff, but nothing compared to some good old bleach to get rid of bacteria. So I said, girl, please, I've been looking everywhere. All the stores are out of bleach. I just want bleach so bad. I just can't take the way I feel that these germs are building up in the house with all these people in here. So she said, just come over. I'll give you some bleach for free. And I'm like, are you sure? I'll give you $50 to $100. I was willing to give $50 to $100 for some bleach. So as you're going through your journey in life, whether you're a senior citizen already up in the age of 60, 70, 80 years old, or you're a young person, 20, 30, 40 years old, as you're getting ready to plan your corporate escape, because you're not going to be in what I call the matrix, you're not going to be in a system anymore. You're probably going to be more self-reliant, independent, or you're going to have your own thing going on. You still want to have a good sense of community and relationships, because a lot of people, relationships are tied to their work. So once you leave your job, a lot of your coworkers don't talk to you anymore. So you still want to build up a community outside of work, because everybody's identity is tied to that job and work. So you want to build up a really good community outside of work. So if something happens like the pandemic, or just something happens in our economy, and you're just like, hey, I have some money saved, but I don't want to touch it because of this uncertainty. So I want to go back into the workforce and maybe find like a part-time job or something for 6 months to 2 years, just to build up some more money. You just need resources. You need connections. So I would say develop a strong network is my number one thing. Okay, so another habit is embrace risk and learn from failure. So we have to fail forward. One of the things that stop people in all parts of their life, whether it's their career advancement, their educational advancement, business advancement, whatever, and even investing, sometimes they fail at something and then they kind of beat themselves up. So there's a really good book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza. I would like for you to get that book, as well as Psycho-Cybernetics. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Psycho-Cybernetics or something like that. That's a older book from about 30 years old. But between those two books, you need to break the habit that is habitually keeping you in the same pattern year after year, because you can self-sabotage. A lot of people self-sabotage. They'll start something is going well. There's a lot of, they say, like lottery winners, people who start to gain a little traction as far as building wealth. They'll like build up to a certain point. Like, let's just say they're not used to having 100 grand. As soon as they get to 100 grand, they're like, well, I got to do something with this 100 grand. I got to spend it or something, because it's going to be gone. I'm going to end up losing it. Like, they self-sabotage. Something internally starts to make them think that they can't go any further, so they'll start self-sabotaging. So the two books that I'm aware of, there's more books out there in the market, but the two that I say get right now today, start listening to the audio. If you don't want to read, I love to read, but if you don't want to sit down and pick up the book and open it up like the old days, get the audio book while you're walking around the house, cleaning, driving, and turn that music off and get these two books. You're going to get I'm sorry, that's not what it's called. You're going to get Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joseph Spencer, and you're going to get that book called Psycho-Cybernetics, okay? So you got to learn how to combat failure. You got to learn that failure is a part of the game in life. You got to face failure. You can't just be like, I'm scared, I'd rather not even try because I'm going to fail. You don't even know if you're going to fail. And even if you fail before, try again. You have like 50 to 100 freaking years on this earth almost to try again. Like, come on now, get up and keep going. But another habit of developing wealth and becoming a millionaire is you gotta deal with risk. There's just, I can't think of too many ways any self-made millionaire has gotten there without dealing with some kind of setback or risk in life. You have to be consistent. So when you start something, you have to, whether it's investing in real estate, investing in the equity index funds and stuff like that, stock market, you got to be consistent with it. You can't just do something one time or a few times and then give up on it. So you have to learn discipline. That's what I talk about in a lot of the videos. Like, you have to learn discipline before you get ready to set out to be like on your millionaire journey or on your self-employed journey or your retirement journey. Because if you have bad habits, you're going to take that into your retirement and you're going to blow through all this money that you're about to make, because you guys are going to make some money, especially with all these videos I'm producing and getting out there. Y'all are going to, and I'm showing y'all what to do and I'm teaching y'all what to do. You're going to make money. And so if you're not disciplined, or if you start making this money and then you go see that brand new car, or you go spend too much on that vacation, or you go spend too much on that whatever, your I don't know, your family, your friends, you start blowing it, drinking every weekend, you're gonna end up blowing through all this money. So you want to develop your discipline in your consistency now, because you don't want to get this money and then blow through it and then have to start all over again. But even if you have to start all over again, that's called failure, setback. We just bounce right back and do it again. The great thing about self-made millionaires is a lot of times, as long as you don't give up, even if you lost it, you can build it back just as easily, because you know what to do the second time around. But you don't want to have to start over, because we have time on this earth, but we don't have a lot of time on this earth, right? And we want to get out of working in dreaded jobs as fast as we can and get to more of a purpose-filled job or career, or get to more of a, like I said, hobbies that you really enjoy doing. You really want to wake up in the morning that's going to put a twinkle in your eye. I always say there's a lot of corporate jobs that are soul crushing. When you go into work, you can see people like their soul, their energy, their soul, their vibrantness, their youthfulness has left their eyes. I also had a coworker at one of the oil companies I worked for. I also had a coworker, he was a software engineer, or like one of those engineer kind of guys, and he actually came into work and hung himself at the office. So I don't know, I didn't get to witness any of that, but I know, I don't know if there was any notes left or anything like that. But so I don't know how much work contributed to his stress and his depression, or something going on with the family life. But he hung himself at the office. Instead of doing it at home, he decided to come to the office and do it. So if life is getting that stressful and bad for you, then it's definitely time to get out of these jobs that you guys are dreading going to. So again, so number 3 is consistency and discipline. Number 4, you're gonna set clear goals. So if you don't know what your goals are, you're a little lost on your goals, find a mentor in your area who can help you with goal setting, or you can always reach out to me and we'll book a call and figure out how to set some clear goals. Oh, and then number 5 was get a mentor. You have to have a mentor. I feel like you'll get to your goals a lot faster if you can find a mentor in your community that can help you with where you're trying to go. I feel like we get a lot in, like in our heads and stuff, and we're like, oh, I'm gonna set out to accomplish this, but it doesn't get done, or we self-sabotage because we feel like we can't do it. So we kind of need either that encouragement that we can do it, or we need more directions of how to get there, because we know, you guys know, you can achieve a lot of your goals because you probably already have done it, especially if you're in a corporate career. You've already achieved a lot of career success. You've already achieved a lot of your goals in life, but there's another part of your life that's not being fulfilled, and that's the part that you're trying to get to, and that's the part, we want to work on. Number 6, work. You can never work your way. This is a good one. You can't work your way to wealth. So sometimes, and let me explain that, because of course there's, the statistic is about 80% of the United States populations that are millionaires are self-made. So we got about 70, it says 79, but I'm just going to round it up to 80. So let's say 80% of the United States of America self-made millionaires as of 2024 are self-made. So that's a really high number. And then when Ford did their 2024 survey, they found that 38% of billionaires inherited their wealth, and then the other 68% were self-made billionaires. So there's a lot of self-made billionaires in this world. There's a lot of self-made millionaires in this world, but they did not work their way to wealth, in a sense of, like, if you really look at what most of them have done, they invested their way to wealth. So the reason why a lot of people that I mentor are stuck is because they thought when they went to get their job, like, let's say you graduated college and you're used to making $10 an hour at the fast food joint. Then you say, oh, now I got this job paying me $60,000 or $80,000 a year. I'm all set now. I'm going to be able to start building some wealth now. But that's not how it works. And it's because a lot of times when you start getting these jobs over the next, 10, 20 years, you're in the workforce, plus you start to notice that bills eat away a lot of that money. Inflation eats away, taxes eat away at that money. So you're really not left with a lot of money after you pay everything and do everything you want to do. So the way that you're going to build your wealth is you're going to look for investments. People have already started companies, so you don't even have to start companies from the ground up. You don't have to go get the bank loan. You don't have to hire employees. You don't have to do any of that. But you need to start investing in those companies. AI is one of the biggest sectors right now. So you will start, you want to start looking for some companies that are working on AI and investing in those companies so you can take part in some of that wealth and growth that those companies are getting. You may not become a billionaire like the people who started the company, but hey, you'll definitely become a millionaire. So, a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but people sometimes think you have to become an entrepreneur in order to become a millionaire. That's not true, but it is one of the fastest way to build wealth if you start a successful business. It's just, if you're doing it, if you're working for someone else, it could take you a little bit longer, or you just may not build as much wealth as an owner would have. But you can always work in pretty much any job, and as long as you're investing your money buying assets instead of buying a lot of liabilities, you should be able to become a millionaire. It's just going to take you a little bit longer. It may take you 20 to 30 years, just depending on how much you're starting with and how much you have to invest. So you're going to invest your way to millions. You're not going to work your way to millions, meaning you can work as much as you want, but if you're not putting that money to work for you, you can't get there just by going into the your office, clocking in and out, and then going home. You gotta put the money to work for you. My recommendation, if you're not making enough at your day job, or they're taking out too much taxes from you, and you're just not bringing home enough to do everything you want to do, my suggestion is to start a side business or to get a second job. I will always say that in these videos. because there's just no way around that. Like, you have to find that extra money you need to invest. You have to make it, you have to like make it a priority. Like, sometimes people will say, well, you talk about putting 10, 20 grand away a year. I can't even, there is no 10 or 20 grand for me to put away. What are you talking about? Between my household, medical bills, whatever. Daycare is like, oh my God, daycare is like 800 to 2 grand a month. There is nothing left. Where are you getting this money from that you can put it away? Well, it comes from a side hustle business. It comes from investments. It comes from a second job. You have to find a way. Or if you're in a 2-family household, you got a spouse to help you, one of you guys need to put some of that income away. Y'all can't just blow through 2 incomes. Like, yeah, I know we're in a time in our history where women are working and you can't live. We don't live like our grandparents lived, where just, the man went to work and then the wife got to stay home, raise the children, and there was enough income to help raise a typical family of 4 or 5. We're not in that era anymore. 2 people usually have to go out into the workforce to make enough to manage a household. But that doesn't mean 2 incomes are need to be, ciphered through so much that not one of the incomes can figure out how to put something away. Like, y'all need to learn how to live off an income and a half, or just 1 income, or an income and a half. But there should be one of those incomes left to put something away for you and your family. And if you don't make this a priority, you're going to just be stuck in jobs you don't love. You're going to be miserable. You're going to, like I said, a twinkle is going to leave your eyes. And even if you said to me, well, I absolutely love where I work. I'm a teacher. I'm a nurse. I'm a whatever you love to be, a dog walker, whatever. Well, dogs pass away eventually. Or you don't know how many people are going to be able to afford, especially when we're in a recession. People start cutting back on those luxuries like dog walking. I know from what I've heard from some of my clients that I mentor, if they're hairstylists, people have barbers, they're suffering right now too. People are not coming in paying them the money that they used to make when the economy was good. They were making, like, you can go, women, we can pay anywhere from $100 to $400 or $500 for our hair, for extensions and coloring and all that stuff. And men can pay anywhere from, $40 for the beard and the getting their hair cut, 40 to 80 to $150. Some of the more affluent, or like not affluent, but people with a little bit more money were paying that to their barbers. And it wasn't, a lot of times you guys think, at least for me, well, why would people be paying that if you're not a person used to spend that on yourself? Sometimes it's just to help your, a lot of people are friends with their barbers or their hairstylists, and that's kind of like a way of contributing back into the community or their local businesses. So, because I know some people are like, who would pay, especially the men, they're like, what guys would pay, like $80 for a haircut, we can go get one for $20 or $30. Well, I knew a guy, he did do haircuts for more upper income level professional males, and they would come to his house. He had a real nice setup, and he would get some NBA athletes as well would come over. I think he was charging $125 or $150, but they liked the ambiance, they liked the the way, the professionalism, the way he, steamed their beard and got them, cleaned up. And they're willing to pay for that, kind of like that exclusive service or whatever. And then I know there's some men's spas that have popped up around town, like, I can't remember the name of them, but, they would charge for the men to come get pedicures and like just get their trimming and clean their nails and toes up. And that'll be $50 to $80, But, when we're in a recession, a lot of those kind of people in those service industries, they notice a major decline in their clientele, like almost by 50%. So even if you have a great clientele now, you always want to be prepared for when the market turns or when there's downturns, just in case that option is no longer available. So you want to be saving and investing your money. You don't want to just, and also you can't even work that much. Even if it's really, work takes a toll on your mental health. It takes a toll on your body. So, you don't want to be overworking yourself for 20, 30 years of your life. You need a break. You need to relax. You need to decompress. So you don't want to, there's only so much work that a human can physically get done in a typical day and week and month. So you want to be able to invest so that money could be working for you. It could be growing for you. It's like you put it in, it works 24 hours a day. Once you put it into the account, it's just working. It's growing on its own. Once you buy, you know, some real estate, some hotels, some apartments, people are coming in using your business. They're paying you, you know, to use your business. That money's growing, you know. Number 7 is just staying out of debt. You got to stay out of debt. If you don't stay out of debt, and I'm talking about the debt that, you know, you're always owing people, not the debt where you have to take out a loan to, you know, start your business, or the debt that you have to take out a loan to buy an apartment complex or a house so you can rent it out. That's going to bring you in some income. That's not the debt I'm talking about. I'm talking about the car loan debt, the credit card debt, the student loan debt, just all those payday loan debts, any debt where it's going to take money out of your pocket. It's going to really greatly affect your ability to become a self-made millionaire and build wealth. Think about, even if you took out debt and you're like, I'm going to make money on this debt, look at how much you're being charged. You could be charged anywhere from 20 to 50 to 100 grand in interest. And just look at, is that debt worth it, or should you just go ahead and invest your own money, let it build up in your equity accounts, and then take that your own cash and just go ahead and put that towards your business. So you can either reduce how much you need to borrow from the bank, or you can just pay cash for it and start your side hustle, your business. Because when you look at that interest, a lot of people don't think this way. I have to actually get them to understand this. Even if you took out a car loan or credit cards, even if you're paying it and they're letting you pay it over time in small increments, that is all your future earnings. Like, so if you're making 50 to 100 grand a year and you're paying somebody 5 or 10 grand a year, all your checks for the future, for the next 5 or 10 years, is trying to pay off that debt. So you got to be very careful with debt. So those are the 7 habits that will help you become a self-made millionaire. I hope you found value in this video. I'm going to wrap it up because I think you get the point. I think you have enough from this video to go ahead and get started on your journey. And I'm going to be dropping some more content so I can help you with this journey, because I want to see you win. I want to see you succeed. I don't want to see you losing, you know, like that twinkle in your eye, like I said, or you end up like my coworker who, you know, took his life at the office, where you're so depressed and you're so tired of going in, you can't go get up another day and go into work, and you're taking time away from your children, you're taking time away from that husband that you want to be cuddled up at home with, or that wife. You know, the only time, you know, I wanted to see you guys cuddle up on a beach somewhere, or on a resort somewhere, you know, not cuddle up, not so tired when you get home that you don't have time to pour into your family, the things that are really valuable on this earth, your family and your friends and your pets, you know, things that are really valuable. So I hope this video helped you at least get started towards your journey of self-made millionaire. I'm going to be dropping some more content to help you, and I'll see you guys in the next video.